Welcome to another deep dive. We're tackling something super relevant for all you teachers out there, how to stay, well, sane throughout the school year.
Ah, the age-old question, right?
Seriously. And to help us out, we're going deep on a presentation by one of your own, Miss Kirby.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it's called 10 Ways for Teachers to Stay Motivated and Energized Throughout the Day.
Love it. I'm already feeling more energized.
Me too.
Yeah.
And Miss Kirby starts off strong, really emphasizing how important it is to start the day right, to set the right tone.
You can't pour from an empty cup and all that.
Exactly, it's so true. And she calls the first step a centering moment.
Okay.
So think like a few minutes of deep breathing, or maybe reading something inspiring before you even step into the classroom.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, she even suggests Psalm 118.24. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
A little dose of gratitude first thing. I can see how that'd be helpful. You know, there's actually a lot of research backing that up. Mindfulness, gratitude practices, those kinds of things, they can really make a difference in stress levels.
So Miss Kirby's onto something here.
Yeah.
Setting yourself up for a good day right from the start.
Absolutely. A good day for you and a good day for the students.
Yeah, exactly. And then she moves on to something so simple, but so easy to forget.
Let me guess. Lesson plans.
Nope, even more basic hydration.
Oh, right. Water. Yes. It's amazing how often we just completely forget about it.
Totally. So Miss Kirby, she's all about keeping that water bottle close,
Yes.
sipping throughout the day, and not just for you, but being a good example for the kids too.
Now that's smart. Normalizing healthy habits. I mean, let's be real. If you're dehydrated, you're going to be tired, cranky. Not exactly the best teacher self, you know?
No, not at all. And the kids pick up on that energy too, right?
Oh, for sure. Staying hydrated. It's good for you. It's good for them. Win-win.
And speaking of keeping that energy up, Miss Kirby's next tip is all about snack breaks.
Oh, this I can get behind.
Right. Fueling the machine.
It's all connected, isn't it? The physical and the mental.
Oh, 100%. And Miss Kirby gets that. She suggests even just a 5-minute snack break for everyone.
Sure.
Yeah, a handful of nuts, some fruit, a little yogurt, something to keep those energy levels going. And she's realistic. She says if there's no official snack time in the schedule, just use independent work time. Sneak a bite in then.
It's all about finding those little moments to take care of yourself. And I think that's such a good message for teachers, especially it's not selfish, it's actually essential. You've got to take care of yourself to be the best teacher you can be.
Right. I love that. Self-care isn't selfish. It's true. And Miss Kirby clearly gets that the physical stuff, it directly affects how you're feeling mentally and emotionally too.
Makes sense. So what's next? What does Miss Kirby have to say about, the mental and spiritual side of things?
Ooh, that's where things get really interesting. Let's dive into that next.
Okay, mental and spiritual. This is where it gets good. I'm ready.
Yeah, Miss Kirby has some really interesting stuff here. So she's really big on the power of positive self-talk.
Interesting.
Yeah. She encourages teachers to use, affirmations or motivational statements, especially when things are tough. Because, it's easy to get negative, especially in a job like this.
Oh, for sure. And there's actually science behind that, right? Like if you keep repeating positive things to yourself, it can actually change how your brain works.
It's like rewiring your brain for happiness, or at least less stress.
Exactly. So what kind of affirmations is she talking about?
Oh, she gives some good ones like, I am making a difference, even when I don't see it today. Or, this is hard work, but I am capable.
I love that. She's not sugarcoating it, she gets that it's tough. But she's also giving you tools to deal with it.
Totally. It's about, acknowledging the struggle, but not letting it win. And then she talks about finding strength in, well, this might not resonate with everyone, but midday scripture reading. Yeah, so she suggests keeping a pocket Bible handy or using a Bible app just to get a quick boost. And she even gives an example.
Oh, yeah.
Let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. From Galatians, I think.
I get it. Tapping into something bigger than yourself, whether that's faith or, whatever helps you feel grounded.
Yeah, exactly. Finding that source of inspiration, whatever it is. And then kind of along those same lines, she talks about incorporating short prayers.
Prayers.
Throughout the day. Yeah, not long ones, just quick moments, asking for guidance or just giving thanks.
Makes sense, like a little check-in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She gives examples like, Lord, give me strength and patience, or God, help me to love my students today.
It's like saying, okay, I can't do this alone, which is so true for teachers.
So true. And then Ms. Kirby shifts gears a bit and talks about, taking care of your physical self.
So back to the real world.
Well, she connects it, right? You can't really separate the mental and emotional stuff from taking care of your body.
Makes sense. What's she suggesting? More snacks?
Well, she does mention those, but also movement and stretching throughout the day.
Oh, like brain breaks.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Standing up and stretching between lessons, getting the kids moving a bit.
Good for everyone. Gets that blood flowing.
Right. And then she has this idea that I absolutely love. It's called a Why I Teach reminder.
Oh, okay, this sounds interesting.
Yeah, so she suggests keeping a journal or like a note on your phone or whatever and filling it with, positive stuff, funny moments from class, nice things students have said.
Oh, I love that.
Right. And then on those days when you're feeling totally burnt out, you can just look back at it and remember why you're doing this.
Brilliant. Because it's easy to forget, right? To lose sight of the good stuff when you're stressed.
Yeah. It's like your own personal reservoir of like teaching joy.
I love it. And then, of course, the big one, boundaries.
Yeah. Miss Kirby does not shy away from that. She's all about reminding people that, you can't pour from an empty cup.
So important. But so hard to do sometimes.
Right. You want to give, give, give.
Yeah.
But you have to take care of yourself too.
Yeah. So how does she suggest setting those boundaries?
Well, she says it starts with recognizing that you have limits and it's okay to protect them.
Preach.
Right. And then things like saying no to extra commitments, leaving work at work, setting clear expectations with everyone, students, colleagues, parents.
That's huge. All of it. I know so many teachers who struggle with that.
Yeah, and it's so important. She even suggests like finding a teacher buddy to lean on, someone to vent to, brainstorm with, just get support from.
That's a great idea. A support system is essential.
Right. But then, Miss Kirby doesn't shy away from the tougher stuff either. She talks about really knowing your limits.
Oh, yeah, the burnout conversation.
Exactly. She actually lists some like specific health problems that can happen if you're not taking care of yourself.
Oh, wow. Serious stuff.
Yeah, things like panic attacks, depression, even high blood pressure.
It's a good reminder that it's not just in your head.
Yeah.
Stress affects your whole body.
Right. And sometimes, even a job you love, it can be too much.
And that's okay to admit.
Exactly. It takes a lot of courage to say, hey, I need to make a change.
It does. But it's so important to remember you have a choice. You always have a choice.
Your well-being has to come first. Always. So Ms. Kirby's presentation, it's like this amazing blend of, practical tips and just this real honest look at the demands of teaching.
Yeah, it's like she's giving teachers permission to take care of themselves, which honestly is so needed.
Totally. And it sparks a bigger question, right? Like, what can we do as a society to better support teachers?
Yes. How can we create schools that are healthier for everyone?
That's a conversation we need to keep having. But for now, let's get back to Ms. Kirby. She has a few more things to share about, staying motivated and all that.
Right, I'm ready. Bring on the motivation.
All right, so we've been talking all about Ms. Kirby's presentation, right? All these ways teachers can, keep their energy up, stay motivated.
And it's not just surface level stuff, She really gets the emotional side of it all.
Yeah, she really does. And I think one of the biggest takeaways is just like remembering that your well-being matters. Like it's not selfish to take care of yourself.
It's the opposite, right? You can't be there for your students if you're running on empty. And Miss Kirby, she actually gets pretty real about what can happen if you, ignore those needs.
Oh, yeah, like when she talks about burnout.
And even like thinking about leaving teaching altogether, if it comes to that.
Right. She lists some pretty serious health problems too, like things that can happen if you just keep pushing yourself without taking a break.
Yeah. Panic attacks, depression. She even mentions high blood pressure. Scary stuff.
It is. It makes you realize that this isn't just like, a mental thing. Stress really does affect your whole body.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Miss Kirby's point is like, you have to pay attention to those signs. You have to know when to say, okay, enough is enough. I need to take care of myself.
And sometimes that means making a big change, like maybe even leaving teaching.
Which is a huge decision. But it's important to remember that you have options. You always have options.
That's your life. Your well-being matters. And I think Ms. Kirby's presentation, it's a permission slip for teachers to actually prioritize themselves.
It is. And it's so needed. I mean, think about all the little things she suggests. Like starting the day with a centering moment. Or that Why I Teach reminder.
Those are so good.
Right. Just little things that can make such a big difference. It's about being proactive, not waiting until you're completely burnt out to do something about it.
Yeah. Choosing yourself.
Yeah.
Choosing your well-being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Miss Kirby's presentation, it's like a starting point. It's like she's saying, okay, here are some things you can do. But it's also bigger than that. We need to change the whole system.
Right. Like, how can we support teachers better? How can we create schools that are healthier for everyone?
That's the million-dollar question.
It is, and it's something we all need to think about. But for now, I think Ms. Kirby's given us a lot to chew on. A lot of good food for thought.
She has. And for all you teachers listening out there, remember, you're not alone in this. Take care of yourselves.
That's so important. Find your people. Find your support system. And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it.
And hey, while you're at it, check out Notebook LM. It might just make your life a little bit easier, free up some time for that self-care. Just saying.
Good tip. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been real.
And remember, teachers, you matter. Your well-being matters. Don't forget that.